I am grateful for your interest in my new book, Healing the Patriarchy-within. It is a fairly detailed guide, 131 word witched pages that were imagined, created, and fostered with intention and attention to the times we are in at the moment. We've been here for a while, but in particular in the United States and other places across the globe, now in the time that this is getting released, it's a particular, extraordinary, complex, dangerous moment in our human history and timing. Know that this guide was created with an intention to be mindful to that. I'm trying to think of like what would be important to know that's, not written on the on the website page for the book. Perhaps it is that like I believe that there is a different world possible. I believe that different world is 100% on its way. Am I going to see it in my lifetime? I don't know, but I sure as hell am going to attempt to be part of the reason it births, right? And that the old dies and that something new is birthed. I do believe that it is fully dependent on humanity, on humans remembering their humanity. And part of that for me is healing the patriarchy within ourselves. I grew up in the 80s. I'm a 70s baby. In the 80s, the 90s, 2000s is all about changing everybody else. Everybody else has to be changed, right? Everybody else needs to be accountable. Everybody else is doing wrong, right? Nobody believes in this particular area, path, nonprofit, good deed as much as I do. And, that is definitely a way of being. I don't know that it's gotten us as far as we'd like it to get us. I decided to take a journey to heal from within as opposed to attempting to change everybody else because that was exhausting. This process, this very detailed guide, is an outcome of my own healing journey that's been, 2 decades and has gotten me to a moment where I have an understanding of what it actually could look like to heal the patriarchy within me. And it's a daily process. I'm not healed. I think there are things that I have healed, and then something happens. You realize, oh, I got to go a little layer deeper. But that's the part of the beauty of being human. There's no destination. There's just constant death, rebirth, death, rebirth, death, rebirth. So that's what this guide is about. It's offering 22 journeys sprinkled with some sacred feminine energy to support coming back into a balanced human state. And in order to do that, it really is about unlearning a lot of what has been forced upon us in understanding who we are and our connection to each other, our connection to ourselves, our connection to the earth. This is a PDF. I am intentionally going the PDF route. I think that it's really important that I get this out now. The publishing industrial complex, it takes a while, and I don't think it needs to be mass produced. I think it has the potential to be downloaded in mass quantities or mass shared or whatever. I don't know the terminology, but I don't think I need or Spirit needs the publishing industrial complex to make that happen. Also, part of that is like that route requires editing my voice to a certain extent, or me acquiescing to an editing of my voice. That going this route of me just releasing a PDF and charging folks for it means that I don't have to acquiesce to anything patriarchal. Any ideas about how I speak or what I say, what things I'm offering people to understand about how the patriarchy moves was not edited out. It is the full, raw understanding of my experience of the patriarchy and the things that can help be in relationship with the self, to engage in self-inquiry, to explore parts of ourselves that we may not like, and to do all that with great compassion, grace, empathy, kindness for what we find, how we find it, but to do it in a really unapologetic way that holds the patriarchy accountable, right? I am responsible for myself, and the patriarchy is accountable to the things that I have created. My path here on earth was one that had to deal with a lot of toxic masculinity, a lot of woundings in terms of white supremacy, anti-blackness, homophobia, classism, elitism. It's been interesting. At this point in my life, I'm like, oh, I get it now. Ancestors, spirit, higher self. Like, in order for me to create something like this, I had to actually experience some things that would create deep, deep, deep empathy. And so this is an outcome of a lot of healing, a lot of depth, a lot of karmic relationships, a lot of holding the mirror up of it's not them. It really is me, and how do I want to move in the world? This is a great resource for folks who are ready for deep self-inquiry, who are ready to be really curious, vulnerable, introspective with themselves. You don't have to invite anyone in, and I would really offer and suggest that this has nothing to do with anybody else, that these are things that you engage with yourself first and foremost. I will be offering some small group processing spaces, gathering spaces, but that's just for folks who know that in order for them to help themselves stay on the path, being in community with others on a similar path is helpful. But you don't necessarily need that. And this is also not one of those PDFs where I just sprinkle a little bit of information and then try to get you to come hire me for more. I've given it's 131 pages of info. Am I available for you to reach out to? Oh, absolutely. I love doing one-on-one work. I love doing small group work, but it's not necessary. You will get something. I should say it could be necessary for you, and I'm not trying to cast judgment. I don't believe in order for someone to get what they need out of this process guide, you need to work with me directly. Could it be helpful? Sure, but not necessary. This book is for anybody that comes to it, no matter how you identify. 100%, if it speaks to you, if it found you, you found it, then it's meant to be. Because this is a seriously channeled spiritual work. It is going to find the people it needs to find. The people who need to find it are going to find it, whether that's directly or indirectly. I do want to give a special shout out, call in, acknowledge a very specific group of folks that I call the hidden ones. Because for decades I was a hidden one. Hidden ones to me are folks who understand that they have this inclination toward what Western society would call paganism, the occult, the esoteric. Also folks who are going through awakenings, ascension, but you are in an environment, a community, a religion that you don't yet feel like you can share that. Those are the hidden ones, and I know that world really well. Part of my healing was to come out to and healing from what is known as the witch wound, what I also call religion's rope. I'm a recovering Christian cult survivor, and so I get it. I understand. This is for you. This process guide for you, meaning I dedicate it to you. Maybe you don't need it. Maybe you don't, I don't know. But I dedicate it to the hidden ones. I dedicate it to the brujas, right? The those of us who don't always get the love, though we often do a lot of the work for community building, for shifting, for protecting, for holding, for cultivating. So the brujas, the priestess witches, the healing witches, the pagan witches, the hoodoo witches, the voodoo witches, recovering witches, remembering witches, folk witches, the Wiccans, of course, African witches, nature witches, Shinto witches, Jewish witches, the no label witches, right? Christian witches, Hindu witches, Catholic witches, Muslim witches, and all the witches in between, and the witches who don't identify as witches. No matter how you identify, this is for you if you found it. And in particular, if you are on an awakening, ascending journey, spiritual path, one in which you are realizing you're healing a witch wound, religion's rope, deep misogyny, history of femicide. This work is in particular for us, dedicated for those of us who are still here and who chose to come back and are doing the work to heal ourselves so that our lineage and our communities can feel healing as well. The paradigm shift that we are on the cusp of, or we're in it. Humans have to be the center point of that. The important aspect of that is our humanity and our balanced human self, remembering compassion, grace, love, kindness. And that those things can be fierce too, right? Like don't get it twisted. If you think the sacred feminine is all soft and cozy, go have a conversation with Kalima. You know, or yeah, you know, so, or Hecate, like, don't get it twisted. So anyway, I think that's enough about the book. I hope that if it calls to you, that you engage it. I made it sliding scale so that it could be as accessible to as many people as possible. Take care of yourselves out there. Unfettered and infinite love and gratitude.